This is a video on the new Mastercam X8 solid prep and also the solids menu. Going to be using some of these prep functions. We're also going to be using some of the standard solids functions. So this part came in and the customer basically wanted to move this circle and this boss with all the radius to just move it over an inch or whatever distance. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and what I've done is I've actually created a few different levels. So his original part is on level 9, so I made copies of that onto level 200 and 300 because I'm going to show you a couple different strategies. The first one that we're going to do on level 200 probably will fail, and then I'll show you how to do it and get it to work on level 300. So I'm going to make 200 the main and turn off level 9. Yeah, so we'll OK that. So what we need to do is get this boss separated from this top face. So in a perfect world, that's all we would have to do, and we could move the boss and the hole together. Well, it may not work so easy on this particular part because we've got some funny radiuses going on down here. At any rate, I'm going to draw some helper geometry. I'm going to draw a line from this corner to this corner. And you notice as I touch that face, that's one face, the skinny part and the boss. We need to split that. So that's where we're going to go up to Model Prep. We're going to use Split Solid Face. It asks you to pick a face and some geometry. So I'm going to pick this face. And to pick that blue line, it won't let me pick it right now. I got to go up to the main menu up here. I got to turn off the face button. So those solid selection icons are not on right now. Now I can pick this edge. And that's it. It is split. So we hit OK here. And you notice I touch that. That's one face going straight across. This is a separate face. So technically now this boss is separated from that face. Now there may also be one down here. We may have to separate that. So I might draw another line from here to here, and I'll do the prep model split solid face again. This face, turn off the face button, this edge, OK. As I zoom in now, there's one little tiny face, there's a different face. They are separated now. So now that boss, as you look at it, it's separated all the way around. So now perhaps we can move it. One way to do that would have been with Model Prep, Move. And basically it tells you to pick your surfaces and then hit Enter, or your faces I should say. Alright, so I'm going to pick the cylindrical bore. I'm also going to pick this top face and all of these faces. Careful you don't click on the clock dial yet. Alright, so it looks like I got all those faces picked, and probably also this one, because I just want to take all of that and move it over. So now you have right here this little icon. That's the symbol for moving geometry. If you click on it, that's the symbol for just moving the axis indicator only. I do want to move the geometry, so I click on that. And to move the geometry, all I got to do is click on the green stem here and go put my mouse into the face, and you can see as I'm moving, the hole is moving, but the boss is not. So I'm just going to take it up here to 1 inch. So the boss moved, the hole moved, but the boss didn't. So in a perfect world, that would have been the way to do that, but since that's not going to work, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So to start fresh and clean here, I'm going to forget about level 200. I'm going to go to 300, turn off 200. So, do this a little bit differently. First of all, it's these radiuses that are probably causing the issue of it not being able to move. So I'm going to need to delete these radiuses, then I can move the boss, and then I'll have to rebuild the radiuses. So first thing I need to do is know is how big are these internal radii. So I'll go up to Analyze Dynamic. I'll click on this face here, and we pull this box over here so you can see it. So you can see that radius right there, that's 260. Click on this face twice, And as I move that around, again, you can see that's a 260 radius. Click on this one, 260, another 260. So these are all 260. Yep. Another 260 and another 260. Okay, so just keep that number in your mind. We're going to need to know that later. So I'm going to escape out of Analyze. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is remove these radius features. So under Model Prep, there is Remove Solid Fillets, which you might think would do the job, but I tried that. It doesn't work. So we tried a different method. We're going to use Modify Solid Feature. And what we can do is we can set this box here to remove, and then we can go around and click just the inside radii. This one, here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And I'm just going to hit OK. So now we've removed those radii. So the next step now is we're going to split this boss off. We're going to do the split face thing that we did earlier. So I'm going to draw that helper line again. This time I'll draw it from here to there. And then we'll go up to Model Prep, Split Solid Face. I'll pick this face. And again, to get that edge, you have to turn off this face button up here. Pick that edge. And when you hit OK now that's one face, that's another face. So the next step now is, since we got rid of all those radiuses and we split this, I believe we can now move the hole and the boss together. So again, I'll go up to Model Prep, Move, and I'm going to pick this inside circular face, cylindrical face, top face, one side, other side, in the center. So I've got all of the boss faces picked plus the cylinder. So now this is already in the Manipulate Geometry mode, so I should be able to carefully click on the green axis line, move over to the scale, and as you see now everything's moving together. I'll take it up to 1 inch, click on that to lock it in. OK, I'm done. So we just moved this hole in the boss 1 inch. The wireframe's not going to move. That was just there for reference, and it doesn't need to move. So now we got to put the fillets back in, and I want to get this and this back to being a single face. So what I'm going to use is a command called Model Prep, and I'm going to use Simplify Solid. It asks me to pick the solid body, so the body button is on here. That white, that's a face. Move the mouse a little bit. There's my 3D cube, so I click on that. That picked the entire solid model, so when I hit OK, it tells me that 2 redundant faces and edges have been removed. Okay, so now you see as I touch that, that's one single surface again. Now I can add the fillets back in again. And instead of Model Prep, I'm going to just go to the standard solids menu, and I'm going to say create a fillet, constant radius fillet. And in this window, I'm just going to make sure the edge button is on, the other ones are off. And I'm just going to pick this one vertical edge. That's all I need. OK that. And propagate along tangencies was already on. That's why it propagated all the way around. You can type in whatever radius you want, in this case 0.26, enter. And it looks pretty good. Now, one other thing about, let me go back into the parameter for that constant radius fillet. There is a drop down arrow here. The reason that worked is the overflow was set to maintain blend. The default is just default, in which case notice that notice the fillet maintain this edge and it modified the top edge. Well, that's not what we want. As you look at the other ones, the original ones, they're maintaining that fillet off of this edge, letting this one vary. And that's because the distance from this face to this face is less than the radius. It's less than 260. So you got your two choices there. So, and this is what everybody overlooks. That little arrow there, typically that's hidden like that. So you just got that little drop down arrow to bring that up. So hit this, hit maintain blend, and you can see how that radius now flipped up. I'll just do it again, back and forth a little bit. Default, it's flat across the bottom. Nope, don't want that. Maintain blend, and there it is. So that is a way to move that. It's a few more steps, but it can be done. That concludes this video. Thanks for watching.